Morty, Rick, Morty, Rick, you, Morty, Rick, Morty, Rick, Morty, Rick, Morty, Rick, Morty, way up inside there as far as they can fit. Rick, Morty, Rick, Morty, someone call his wife and chill. Rick, Morty, Rick, Morty, Rick. Morty,
Where are my testicles, Summer?
Rick,
Oh, bitch.
Rick, Puffy vagina. Rick, Morty,
I like it.
Rick, Morty, Rick, Rick, Morty, Rick, Morty, Rick, Morty.
Yes.
Morty. Rick. Hey, Morty. Rick, Morty. Rick, Morty. Rick, Morty. Can do. Rick, Morty. Oh, Morty. Rick, I can't take it anymore. Rick,
25 schmickles!
Morty. Rick, Morty. Rick, Morty.
Mate with me for life.
Mr. Crowbar.
Dad.
Nice.
Fake doors! Rick, I don't give a fuck. Morty. What? Morty. Rick.
Oh my god.
Morty. Rick.
What?
Rick. Morty. Morty's pea suit. Morty.
No. Black people. No. Recliner. No. Rotary.
Morty. Rick. Morty. Morty waves. Morty. Rick. Morty's. Morty's. Rick. Rick's. Morty's. Rick. Bird person.
Challenging. Bird person.
Bird person. Rick. Morty. Rick.
Bird person.
Rick. Morty.
Squatch it in here!
Morty. Rick. Morty. Bird person. Rick. Morty.
I am in great pain. Bird person.
Bird person. Rick. Morty. We go. Rick. Morty. Gross and weird. Morty. Be merciful to me. Rick. Morty. Rick. Morty.
Jerry.
Morty. Rick.
Moonman.
Moonman. Rick. Morty. Fat Morty. Rick. Morty. Rick.
Blam blam!
out!
Rick, Morty.
Ooh-wee.
Rick, Morty, Rick, Morty, Rick, Morty, Rick, Morty, Rick, Morty, Morty.
Ooh-wee. Oh-wee. Ooh-wee.
He'd like to be alone.
Morty, Rick, Morty, 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 Morty. Swifty, Swifty,
Swifty.
Swifty, Swifty, Swifty.
Disqualified.
Morty, Rick, Morty, 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 Swifty, Morty,
Swifty.
Morty, Morty, bird person. If Morty,
Swifty.
Rick's bird person, Rick, Swifty, Morty,
Boo. Disqualified. Disqualified.
Rick, Morty, Morty, Rick, Morty, Rick, Morty.
Much obliged.
Rick, Morty,
All of you have loved ones.
Much obliged.
Rick, Morty, Rick, Morty, Rick, Morty's Rick,
No! Nobody's doing that!
Morty,
Sorry, what did you say his name was?
Morty.
Vincent.
Rick, Vincent, Morty,
Vincent.
Vincent, Morty,
Little bit.
Morty, Rick,
Personal space. 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 Personal space.
Personal space.
Morty, Rick and Morty, Rick, Morty, Rick, Morty, Rick, Morty, Rick, Morty, Rick, Morty,
Fade in, fade to black.
Morty, Rick, Morty, rickety piece of crap, Morty, bird person,
Bird person.
Bird person.
Rick's Morty,
Bird person.
bird person, Rick, bird person, Morty, Rick, Rick,
Bird person.
Bird person.
bird person,
Bird person.
bird person, Rick, Morty, Rick,
Ooh-wee. 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 Ooh-wee.